What's up YouTube? This is Matt with Chrome Donkey. It is time to do the chalk test. I want to do a real quick video on this to show you guys how to do this, because I want to make sure that I have the right PSI in these giant 39-inch tires. And essentially all you're doing is picking about as wide as a crayon you probably steal from your kid's crayon drawer, just like I did. Luckily it was sitting on the counter. And just make sure you get your treads nice and covered, just like this. We'll do the front. And we're going to do the rear. And I'll tell you why I'm doing this. There's been some discrepancies on what the right PSI is for this tire. When I picked it up from the shop, I was told that they just went with what was on the door sticker, which is 37 PSI. And I just feel like that is way wrong for these giant tires, just because of the air volume and the density and how large they are and all kinds of other reasons. You just can't go with what's on a door sticker when you put such a bigger tire on your vehicle. So what we're looking for is even wear. So what I'm going to do is, they say to do this right, you really should go about maybe 100 yards or 100 feet, somewhere up in there. And I have parked not too far away from the house, so I'm going to take you along for the ride. And the one piece of this is you don't need to turn at all. You just need to roll straight. No reason to go fast or anything like that. Just try to hold the wheel as straight as possible, because you certainly don't want the rubber turning, because that'll give you false readings and wipe off some of that. Now what's the chances I can stop this Jeep and actually see my marks? Well, here's step one. Let's see, I may have to get out. This is where a camera would be useful. I should say another camera. Let's see if I lucked out. Oh, there we go. Okay, I was right. This is nice, even tread wear. You can tell there's not any hot spots. It goes all the way to the edge of the lug. You don't have any of this area, showing up or bleeding over here. So hopefully that shows in the picture and the video. Nice even wear. Now let's check back here. Should be in about the same spot. Okay, now in the back we actually might want to do some tweaking, and this is why I'm glad I did this, because notice in the back over here is a lot brighter, whereas the middle has been worn off more than the edges. And this is precisely why I wanted to do this, because what this is telling me is the rear is actually, let's see if I remember this right, the edge wall, that means the rear is overinflated, because what's happening is the center is actually what's making contact with the ground and not letting these edges touch, which is interesting, because if you see up front, it's nice and even. So what that tells me is I'm not going to run the same PSI in the front and the rear, or else it's going to cause uneven tread wear. So probably what I'll do is, up front right now I set it for 30 PSI cold. Right now the sensors are showing 35. Now that everything is warmed up and got up to speed. So what I may need to do in the rear is deflate these by a couple PSI to try to create an even wear. So I'll do that later, and I'll post a second clip to this video before I post it to let you guys know what the final verdict was. Okay guys, Matt back with you with a second part of this clip, and I have the air pressure dialed in. So here's what I landed with. I didn't have to touch the front. These, when I aired these up the other day when it was cold, left overnight, these were 30 PSI, okay? You see the even wear, right? Even wear. And then back here, what I decided to do on these, if you can tell, you might have just a slight overinflation in the rear. So obviously over here is a little bit darker than the center, but I didn't want this to be 100% even, just because I do plan on towing. And I don't want to underinflate these to the point where when you add additional weight in a towing situation, they are underinflated. So you can tell a little bit darker here, a little bit lighter there. And what I did is I went down 2 PSI on these. So these are essentially now at 28 PSI cold. Now it sounds misleading, you know, 30 and 28. And if you look online, there's a lot of people that really recommend 28, 27 PSI. But here's the thing, these tires are so big, there's so much air volume. Right now in the sun, after I've been driving around town, these are not 28 and 30 anymore. This tire right here is actually showing 33 PSI, and the fronts are showing 35 PSI. So really you've got a 33 in the back and a 35 up front with regards to tire pressure, and you almost have an even tread wear all the way across. Very, very close. And again, I could probably go down another PSI or 2, but I want to leave a little bit of extra just for towing and extra weight. So this is what I'm going to land on right now. So again, this is the BFGoodrich KM3. This is a 39 by 1350 by 17. So that's what I've landed on. 28 in the rear, 30 up front, cold PSI. Thanks so much for watching the video. If you liked it, hit that thumbs up and make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, so you'll be notified with new videos and new content. Stay safe, thanks for watching, and have a fantastic day.